pressure. Save Brodeur. Rebound. Oh, and he got that one too. Oh, and he shoots to the save by Brodeur. What a stop by Martin Brodeur. Oh, what a glove save by Brodeur.
Every win he gets is an NHL record. He has it now at 688. That is more than his head coach with 673. That is our BJC Healthcare difference maker as Brodeur makes his debut. As we check our Dobbs starting goaltenders, it is Brodeur's first NHL game since April 13th of last year when he beat Boston 3-2. He'll go against the Big Fin Pekka Rinne, who leads the league with 16 wins, and he is red hot here at home. He has won his last 6 starts at Bridgestone Arena. As the Blues and Predators meet for the 3rd time in the regular season. Blues hockey is sponsored by Bud Light, who remind fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. We are underway here in Nashville, and the Blues off the faceoff send it in. They had the Backes line out there with Steen and Oshie, and for the Predators it is Wilson, Garncroak, and Craig Smith.
Yeah, and the plan right off that faceoff was win the draw, get it down deep, and get Backes' line off the ice. But instead it's an icing call, so now Backes and Oshie and Steen have to stay on for the defensive zone draw.
And Wilson on the faceoff against Backes. The Blues captain wins it as it's walked along by Steen. He goes against Big Shea Weber. Steen goes down, he gets up. Now gets some support from Oshie. Worked over by Jarnkrok. Oshie trying to hook the puck in front. Petrangelo's open back on a point. He winds up and lets it go, and a big rebound off Rinne in front. Oshie trying to find it. It's under Steen, and now knocked to the corner by Weber. And Roman Josi there for Nashville. High to center ice. Backes lost it. Here comes Wilson. Around a man in on goal. And Martin Brodeur makes 2 saves in the Blues goal. And that's how he starts his career as a Blue.
A little bit of a knee down, dragged the left pad. And after the Blues bungled it up there in the neutral zone, Wilson steps around Barrett Jackman and David Backes. And on a 1-on-2, gets a pretty good chance on the backhander, and a good save there by Brodeur, jumping right into the game. It's exactly what you want as a goaltender that hasn't played a regular season game since last April 13th, as you mentioned.
What a start for Brodeur. And the Blues off the faceoff. Schwartz flies in, a shot, and a glove save by Rinne, and no rebound.
And that's going to be a good play all night if you want to face off in Nashville's zone, because that's what Pekka Rinne is going to do. And he told me this morning that tonight wasn't just an ordinary game, it was a special game. He has a lot of admiration for the guy across the ice surface from him in Marty Brodeur. And Pekka Rinne and I talked an awful lot about the way Brodeur catches pucks, plays pucks, how he can pull off a 2-pad stack or a half butterfly. It doesn't give you the same save sequence all the time. And he's admired by so many goaltenders that are playing now and so many that have just retired.
Now Tarasenko, a shot. That's tipped high. Rinne was the 2nd star of the month, or 3rd star of the month in November. He was 10-1. And a shot by Gunnarsson hit a stick, goes wide.
Yeah, he faces the 2nd star, Vladdy Tarasenko. And you can be sure that the point being made by the coaches and teammates to Vladdy Tarasenko is start shooting the puck again.
Blues turn it over, but that's an offside as Beck was in ahead of the rookie Philip Forsberg,
who has been absolutely outstanding so far. And after that offside play, it gives us a chance for a Toyota keys to the game. Certainly, you've got to place pucks away from Rinne. Carolina did a marvelous job in the last game. Carolina won 2-1, and you have to have team toughness all over the ice. All over the ice. You have to have hockey sense, team toughness, awareness. Where is everybody? What's going on? And that's the way you form a championship caliber team, when you stick up for one another.
The Blues have dressed 7 defensemen and 11 forwards tonight as they recall Petteri Lindbohm from the Chicago Wolves. He played last night in Lake Erie in Cleveland and flew here this morning in his 2nd NHL game. Now it is Chris Butler, a shot off Rinne's glove. And now Lindbohm steers one to the corner. And that goes too high. And he said this morning, Darren, that it would be an absolute thrill to to score his first NHL goal against fellow Finn Pekka Rinne. He said it'd be really cool to get his first one against Rinne.
Well, I guess it would be. Anytime you score against a dynamic goaltender like Pekka Rinne. But after the whistle, keep your eye on the left side. That's odd. He just trying to get in the kitchen a little bit, rattle some pans there from the veteran Matt Cullen. And he just has a conversation. You got to give it to Steve Ott in last night's game. He threw around that 180 pounds like you read about. He was the most prominent forward, in my opinion, in the game last night in Chicago.
Had a couple of massive hits against Andrew Shaw in particular. Now Stastny gets the puck to center ice, on with Berglund and Tarasenko. Here's a great pass by Tarasenko for Pietrangelo. Off the goalpost. Now Jackman a drive and a glove save. And we get a whistle.
Nice pass by Vladdy Tarasenko on the backhand, seeing the weak side defenseman, Alex Pietrangelo. Last night against Antti Raanta, the goaltender for Chicago, Pietrangelo hit the post on the same side of the ice. On the stick side, the wrister from Pietrangelo, very, very accurate. Not overly hard, but it was right on the mark. Just missed it by a fraction.
As the Blues hit a goalpost and a crossbar in the first period last night in that 4-1 loss.
That's right. Ian Cole had a little snapshot just inside the blue line, and Antti Raanta gave it a little wave at it. But those are the breaks that you need in the game, and Raanta ended up being one of the top 3 stars in that game last night, the 4-1 loss in Chicago.
And Cole had the only Blues goal as they outshot the Hawks 41-33. The Predators' last game was 2 nights ago, a 2-1 loss in Carolina. Now Tarasenko on the half wall, trying to get free. Stetter step move, a shot, rebound Stastny, and a save by Rinne as he's been tested early by the Blues.
That's the kind of jump that Blues fans are used to seeing from Vladdy Tarasenko. Quick little plays, cutting back in, changing the angle. As you see here on the back end, waits, stutter steps, brings it back to the forehand, gets around the defenseman Ryan Ellis. Good shot on goal. And Stastny can't capitalize on that rebound that's over to the left of the goaltender, Pekka Rinne.
Tarasenko has 3 points in 2 games this year against the Predators, as the Blues are 1-1 against their longtime rivals. Now Chris Butler, met there by Fisher. He overskates it, and now Butler on to Steen. Center ice for Lindblom. And he comes in and a high shot caught by Rinne as he tried to go over that left shoulder.
And when Butler went down to the American Hockey League, he worked an awful lot with Lindblom. And they worked together a lot. And they were spending a lot of time before this game in the hallway just conversing, just talking. And they've spent 2 shifts now on the ice together, so there's that familiarity. But Terry Lindblom is going to be a real good one. He's got a little edge to his game. He's got a good shot. And he seems like when the game's on the line, he wants to be on the ice. He wants to be that kind of player, which is the kind of guys you want.
His previous game in the NHL, October 19th in Anaheim.
Yep, back-to-back nights. That was a tough one.
Steen stole it here. He's in the clear, and a backhander. And Rinne goes down and makes another save as the Blues have really put the forecheck into play early on here.
Yeah, this is a very, very good response. Back-to-back nights, and not knowing what the spirit is like with the Blues after last night's game. But they've come out here with a very, very good start, setting the tone. And you can be sure that that concerns Peter Laviolette, the head coach of the Nashville Predators at this point.
We saw the Preds numbers at home, 10-1-1. Only Pittsburgh has won in this building this year by a 3-0 score back in late October. Now Jori Lehtera. He wanders back on the goal. As the STL line is reunited here, Schwartz back to the line. Now for Gunnarsson, trying to get a shot through, up in the air, and that sails wide, and then played off the boards to center by Matthias Ekholm. Schwartz gets it back for the Blues. Now Tarasenko, good move. Schwartz trying to drop it off, and the Predators break it up, and it rolls to center ice. And here comes the fine rookie Forsberg. He darts in and a shot, and a glove save by Brodeur, and he has it in the glove. Still scoreless. The St. Louis Classic returns to Steinberg Skating Rink at Forest Park on December 13th. A giant screen will show the Blues take on the Avs in Colorado while fans skate and watch our Blues live shows from the rink. It's the St. Louis Classic, presented by your Gateway Honda dealers, Saturday, December 13th on Fox Sports Midwest. It's always a lot of fun.
Always a lot of fun. And the most dangerous player against the Blues so far is that fine rookie, Philip Forsberg. Good glove save there by Brodeur.
And Forsberg has 5 points in the 2 games against the Blues. Now Brodeur, who, as you know, can really handle the puck.
Yeah,
that centering feed now back to the line. A drive off the stick of Volchenkov. Didn't get through the maze of players in front. And now it is Seth Jones, the second-year man. But that's called back on a delayed offside.
Well, both goaltenders can handle the puck very well. The hockey sense of Marty Brodeur has probably carried him in a big way to 688. But here, stop it there, and you see he's got the puck. He doesn't want Butler coming towards him. He wants his defenseman to be an outlet because he's going to play the puck. There's no use having a defenseman 2 feet away from you when you're going to play the puck. They will learn that. They'll get used to that. And, of course, he is a terrific communicator, so that'll be understood rather quickly.
And he said it's going to take a while. He said we don't want to have 2 guys in the corner, including me. As the Predators fire it down the ice. And that will be an icing call, much to the chagrin of 17,000 fans on hand tonight.
Well, that's close. Taylor Beck and Alex Pietrangelo, they were both at a very similar spot that could possibly have negated that icing call. But the call goes to the runner, huh?
It usually does in baseball and in hockey. As Fisher gets the faceoff. Fisher, of course, is just back in the lineup, playing his 4th game after an off-season Achilles tendon injury. He had surgery. And now it is number 24, Eric Nystrom. He'll get it by Berglund. Now Jones for Volchenkov. A pass hit Schwartz. And Karen's back to Seth Jones.
Yeah, big Paul Gaustad that usually patrols the middle of the ice with Nystrom and Beck not in the lineup for this game.
And he is their top face-off man, so the Blues perhaps get an edge in that department.
Last 13 games between these Central Division foes. As you can see, the Blues have had the advantage 11-2. But all this kind of stuff goes by the wayside. A new coach, a new system, a new energy on the Nashville Predators, and boy, have they been good.
And that new coach, of course, is Peter Laviolette, who was fired early last year and takes over for Barry Trotz, who had been the only coach in the 16-year history of the Predators until this year.
Well, he brings alongside a team-building type of mentality. That's how he did it with Carolina, really rallied the team together, the family together of the players, and they went along a magical mystery run there, didn't they? In winning the Stanley Cup in 7 games against Edmonton.
That was back in 06.
And the goalie that won the Conn Smythe that year was Cam Ward. Same guy that really played well the other night in that 2-1 Carolina win against Nashville.
Now Yarncroke, he is stripped of the puck by Tarasenko. He comes in 3-on-2. Delays into Steen to Tarasenko. Shoots. He scores! Tarasenko! And the Blues take a 1-0 lead.
Holy jumping, what a play that is. On a string. They tried a couple of dipsy little drop passes early. They got picked off. Tarasenko had a couple of good shots. This one here is just a beauty. By the time it gets back on his stick, on the give and go, odd man rush, 3-on-2, center lane drive, pass across, Steen gives it right back as Backes goes to the middle of the ice. Backes obviously causes a lot of havoc right there with Josi. And because of that, it allows the weak side winger, Alexander Steen, to be able to keep his head up, not shoot the puck right away, give it back to Tarasenko for the wide open net, and Peter Laviolette has called a well-advised timeout here because the Nashville Predators have not started this game out very well, yet the Blues have done a fantastic job. After that first shot on goal that Nashville had, the Blues have taken it to him ever since. Head up all the way by Tarasenko. There's the give. There's the go. There's the open net. On the heel of his stick, fluttering a little bit, the goalie is trying to spin back and try to catch it with the back part of his blocker in a desperation move, but he can't cover enough of that net, and Tarasenko against the Preds is red hot.
Second of the year, 15th overall. That is tied with Stamkos for third in the league. Only Rick Nash with 16 and Tyler Seguin with 18 have more.
Well, I like Tarasenko's start to this game. I mean, a lot of times in the last couple of games, it was getting a little too cute, a little too pretty with the little fluttery backhand passes by everybody on the line. It's time to get back to basics, and that's why you could see that he got the message, and he's just leading the charge here so far in this game.
His 15th at 5:46, and the Blues lead 1-0. As Rene puts it high on the glass, that bounces to center, handled by Ian Cole on defense with Butler. Now Cole ahead, off the skate of Laterra, but it's grabbed by Butler. Back for Laterra. Quick right wing feed, no one was there, and the Predators intercept. No, now Weber.
His winger Tarasenko was going off for a line change.
That's why no one was there. And a shot wide by Yossi. Rattles around, now back on the line. Long floater, blockered away by Brodeur on that high shot by Ellis. And the Blues have possession back of the goal. Here's Oshie. Pounded from behind by Ribeiro. But now Oshie emerges, and the Blues onto center ice. It is Oshie, Backes, and Steen up front here. And a big collision back of Rene. It's under Oshie. He gets up. Worked over by Neal. Trying to clear it. Kept in by Pietrangelo. Long shot up high. Off a glove and now swatted down the ice. And a delay here. Now a shot by Forsberg. And that was off the side of the goal and out of play. As that play appeared to be very close to being offside. Tarasenko has his 15th. And the Blues lead 1-0.
Well, good start for Martin Brodeur in a St. Louis Blues uniform, and it gives us time now for our dirt cheap snapshot of the game. The Blues brought in the great one back in 1995, and Marty Brodeur, obviously the winningest goaltender of all time. And the unique thing about this relationship, beside the Olympics in 2002 and World Cups, but Wayne Gretzky has a house in the St. Louis area. First thing he said was, hey, Marty, we're not there all the time. I got a house for you. You want to stay at the house? I got a house. I got a car. You just go right ahead. Use whatever you want. So it makes great ones, doesn't it?
And I'm sure he'll take him up on that. Why not? Live in Gretzky's house.
I'm going to do that. We're going to have a big party there. How do you like that there, John?
You'd have a few Stanley Cups in the living room, wouldn't you? Here's a shot by Jackman. That would be 7 total, I believe. Art Ross's Vezina trophies, Stanley Cups. Now Reeves back to get a good back check there by Reeves. And sends Lapierre to center ice. Rolls off a check from Beck. And handled by Pekka Rinne. The Blues goal by Tarasenko from Steen at 5:46. And the Preds to center ice. And Brodeur goes to play this one. He gets it by Cullen. And now Gunnarsson up the wall. Kept in by the Predators. Centered, but Stastny in the right spot. And now Gunnarsson, home run pass. Trying to hit Patrick Berglund at the line. That was knocked down out of midair. And now a foot race won by Shattenkirk. Chopped down by Gabriel Bourque. And no call. Ekholm, deep slot. Jokin in the drive, and that goes wide with a screen in front. And now Ellis dangles back of the goal. In the slot, Bourque a shot. Right on, a save by Brodeur. And he has it. Another tough test. And Brodeur had the answer on Gabriel Bourque. That's an excellent save right there. He kept his body upright. Even, you know, you look at it, for a guy that started his career so long ago, he's still a very big goaltender at 225 pounds. He gets one knee down, keeps his right shoulder up. That's just reading the shot. That's what that is. He's not a blocker as a goaltender. He's a guy that sees the puck come off the stick. He read it, up high blocker, and gets himself in a good spot. Here's another drive and a save by Brodeur from the deep slot on James Neal. And now Steen trying to move it. He goes the other way. Up the middle, and Butler will flip it on to center ice. Yossi off the boards. The rookie Forsberg there. Bats it back in, played by Backes. And now Butler to Backes. Through the middle. That pass for Steen, but it's offside as he is chopped down at the Nashville line. What a save by Brodeur on that second attempt as well. And now I see how much fun Chico Resch had all those years in New Jersey as their color analyst. But you can see the Ribeiro in front of the net, and he gets a little redirection on that. That's why he jumped up there quickly in the reaction on the left side from Martin Brodeur.
earlier, it appeared to me as if Matt Cullen had gone by him and tapped him on the pads after a save. That's respect.
That's respect indeed from the 38-year-old Cullen, who's a kid compared to the 42-year-old Brodeur. As Schwartz holds it in. Now played by Ekholm. And then Ellis, long pass up the wing, cut off by Jackman. Again, the Blues going with 7 defensemen tonight. Jackman moves it. Kicked along by Pietrangelo. And his shot wide of the goal. Comes around Jackman on the line of drive. And that's stopped in front. And Ellis now for Järnkrok. The former Red Wing property. Drop pass. Save Brodeur. Rebound in front. Gobbled up by Tarasenko. And the Blues away. Here's Pietrangelo. In front. Off a skate. And then collected by Schwartz. He'll brush one back to the goal. And Rene wanders and hands it on to Ryan Ellis. Shots are 9-8 in favor of Nashville, but the Blues lead by 1. And a shot by Jones off a leg to the corner. Well, Lafayette back to get it. And look out, he is spun around by Nystrom. And we have a puck battle in the corner to the left of Brodeur. Now Nystrom again. Out high. Now to Fisher, shot. That's blocked by Shattenkirk. Back to Jones. All he can do is play one back to the corner. Now Fisher. Volchenkov, the former Devil, a shot. And that was blocked in front by Shattenkirk. And he lobs it high down the ice. Reeves in on the forecheck. And he can't get it. Anton Volchenkov does. And the puck back to neutral ice. Stastny stole it from Fisher. He scampers back in the Predator zone. Quick shot. And a rebound in front, but the Blues can't get there in time after the right pad save by Rene. Stastny. That pass back. Lindbohm pitches in from the point. Now in front. Berglund chops one back of the goal to Stastny. And now up the wing for Ribeiro, who scored the Predators' lone goal the other night. At center ice. Lindbohm will rifle it right back in.
But Terry Lindbohm's start to this game, very, very good. Really calm. And again, as I reiterate, he and Butler looked real good on the blue line together.
As Neal comes in, that shot comes in front. Blues have the right coverage, and now Steen on for TJ Oshie. Trying to get down the wall. He is smashed by Josi. Steen follows up, centers it, but no one is home, and Ribeiro curls back to center ice. That pass now grabbed by Forsberg. He comes in, a shot. He's got a good one. That's blocked by Pietrangelo. Trying to roll off the check. Now back to the goal, Ribeiro again. Ribeiro in front. And Cullen's shot did not get through. And the Blues counter with Backes. Ships it in high with some backspin to Steen, a shot. And that rolls wide. Nice little pass there by Backes.
Good grooves.
On the 60-degree wedge. Predators give in, a shot by Ekholm. This stopped at the Blues defense.
Pace is picking up now ever since Laviolette called that timeout.
Yeah, the Predators have been a better club, and they have matched the Blues' intensity here. Now Gunnarsson trying to turn to make a play. Cullen there. So is Jokinen, and that shot trickles wide of the goal. And then Bourque sends it back to the goal. 7:30 left here in the first period. Tarasenko has scored the lone goal. Now Laterra for Shattenkirk, long pass. Trying to hit Tarasenko. He was onside, but it bounced by him. Now Tarasenko out of the corner. And he's muscled down, but he gets up and hooks one in front. But grabbed by Järnkrok. Here comes the young Swede Järnkrok. That shot. Save Brodeur. Rebound up in the air. Chucked wide by Butler. In the slot, another drive. Save, another save by Brodeur with the left skate. The second one on Smith. He has been razor sharp in his debut in a Blues uniform. A couple of dandies here.
Against him, I mean, I would be lying if I would just say that it's another game and another 2 points. It's great to play against Marty. I've had a chance to play against him in the past with when he was with New Jersey, but it is exciting. Especially his first game back since last year. So I mean, it's a special game, not only for himself but for us who get to go against him, future Hall of Famer. So it's cool.
that any good or what?
Nice stuff from
Is that
Pekka
any
Rinne.
good? The respect that Pekka Rinne shows and how excited he was and how honest he was. It's not...
No, this is not another game.
No, it's not another game.
As Oshie gets the puck to center ice, Blues are changing. Ott and Oshie, they walk in. Oshie trying to go wide and a shot. And a good save on the short side by Rinne. Now Ott again. And Pietrangelo had it roll on him. And the Blues have to regroup at center. And now Oshie will hook one back of the goal. And Lindholm, the rookie. For Ott. And chipped in back of the goal. Rinne hard up the left wing side. And now Forsberg onto center ice to Neal. Dropped off. Neal gets it back. And a good stick there by Shattenkirk. And it goes out of play.
Yeah, good stick there by Shattenkirk in protecting Marty Brodeur. Early on, Brodeur has his first chance. Colin Wilson makes a nice play on a 1-on-2. Then a quick little shot there. He directs it out to the side of the net. This one here was before that last break. Smith has the rebound, and you can see the extension of the left leg of Martin Brodeur at 42 years of age. A couple of weeks ago, he was in his pool with the kids in Florida. Then he got to work and got grinded out at the practice rink with the Devils, skated with Scotty Gomez, his former teammate, and then he jumped right into it with the Blues in 5 straight hard practices to see whether or not he could be a player again. And he decided yes he could, and Doug Armstrong did the same.
He's been here a week. He's participated in 4 morning skates and 2 regular practices. Now Ribeiro in. Backhand, a rebound, they score! And we are tied at 1 as Forsberg gets the rebound.
A sloppy turnover results in a rebound chance. And Philip Forsberg continues to burn the Blues. This kid is red hot. As you can see, the Blues have got this puck out of the way. And Jori Lehtera tries to go forehand, backhand through bodies when there is easier plays to be made. And Lehtera knows better than that. The first shot stopped on the backhander. They're always difficult to locate off the stick. It goes off the pad, and then the rebound's there. So Lehtera coughs it up, and then the man that scores is right on the doorstep, right beside him. Tough shift.
And Forsberg gets his 11th of the year. And Brodeur had no chance on that rebound attempt. Now the Preds with it. Josi back of the goal, but now it's picked up by the Blues and played back to Butler. So we're tied at 1. The goal at 14-10. And Patrick Berglund at the line. That shot blocked. And the Captain Weber off the wall to center. Butler lost it. Here comes Matt Cullen into the zone for Jokinen. And that shot hit the leg of Ian Cole. And now chopped at by Weber. Scooped up by Butler. Look out. Gets away from his bed and now moved in by Oshie. Oshie to the front. As Stastny was in there, but it was too far. Jackman pinches, takes a hit, and Stastny throws it back to the goal. Ribeiro gets the only assist on that goal by Forsberg, as we are even at 1. Now Järnkrok comes in for the Predators. His shot wide of the Blues' goal. Comes around now to Backes at the line. Now punched to center. Oshie in for Ott. He juggles the puck a little bit, but the Predators take over. And a pass by Järnkrok blocked. Moved along by Jones. Seth Jones drops it. Järnkrok moves in a drive. Another shot. And that's blocked again by the Blues, and they fire it back down the ice. A big push late by the Predators. As we are tied at 1. Almost too many men there. Now the Blues steal it. Here they come. Schwartz into the zone in front to Lehtera. And a good poke check by Rinne. Now back to Shattenkirk. Rolled back of the Predator goal. Schwartz finds Gunnarsson open. And his pass hit a stick, goes to Schwartz. Long shot, tipped wide by Lehtera. And then hammered around by Volchenkov. And the puck to center ice. Here's Wilson in. He is watched by Gunnarsson. Twisted back of the goal. Fisher there. Trying to get some room down low, but a good job by Lehtera. Who then is run over by Nystrom. Lehtera gets back on his skates. Now fed in front by Taylor, back glove by Brodeur. And we get a stoppage. A frantic first period. Tarasenko for the Blues, and Forsberg, the brilliant rookie, has tied it.
Pat Paris back inside our Fox Sports Midwest live studio at Ballpark Village. Blues and Preds now tied 1-1, 3:28 to go in that first period. Coming up on the St. Paul GM Country Intermission Report, a quick look back at some of the highs and lows of the first period. We'll get Bernie's take on the first 20 minutes. And it's Marty's World now. We look at how the Blues were able to get the goalie with all these records. But for right now, it's back to John and Darren in Nashville. Guys?
Thanks, Pat. From the faceoff, the Predators come back in. The always dangerous Ribeiro. He is rocked by Jackman. Then Jackman takes the puck back of the goal. Trying to find some open ice, up the wall, and now back to center ice. And now we get a penalty here. And a hooking minor, I believe, on Ribeiro.
Yeah, it's his stick blade got caught up right in the hands of Barrett Jackman. And Vladimir Tarasenko gives Jackman a little pat on the pads right there as they exchange. And Wes Walz, the veteran.
Minor penalty, hooking.
Veteran referee Wes McCauley making that call.
So the Blues get the first power play of the night. They were 0 for 6 on 12 shots last night in Chicago. And in 2 games against the Predators, 1 for 3. Steen back to get it on defense with Shattenkirk up front into Schwartz, Tarasenko, and Laterra. Pass up the middle. Here's Schwartz, a shot, and that's off the stick of Josi, and it goes high out of play.
Well, that's not the play that you're looking for on the power play. Even though you're open, it's a one-on-one and you're outside. You want to get the puck in the zone. The entry is perfect by the Blues. You want to go in as a 5-man unit. Once you get it in the zone, now it's about setting up shop, not taking a wrist shot from the top of the circles.
Now a drive by Shattenkirk. That got through. And I believe grazed off Rinne. Now it's centered. Oshie lost it. Kept in. Shattenkirk fires it wide of the goal. And then back to the line again for Steen. That's rolled around to Stastny. Now back for Shattenkirk. Here's Steen again. Fires. Oshie in front. And he hooks that one wide of the goal. Steen again.
Nystrom doesn't have a stick up top. The Blues have got to keep control of this.
Now Steen works in. Blocker save by Rinne. And then David Backes. Quickly back to Steen. Good power play here by the Blues. Oshie. Steen fires it. That hit a man out high, I believe. Nystrom. And the Blues get it again. Steen works it out high again. Changes sides with Shattenkirk. Again, Nystrom doesn't have a stick. A drive by Shattenkirk, blocked in front. And then gloved by Nystrom. And it does trickle to center ice. Now the Blues step right back in. Backes, deep slot. Puts that one up high. Hits the glass, comes down. Now Steen again. Trying to penetrate up the slot. Watched by Josi. To Backes. In front of shot. And maybe off his own man, Oshie. And covered by Rinne.
Real good opportunity squandered there with Nystrom not having a stick in his hand. He was absolutely exhausted. The second part of it was the positive part. The Blues got it back into the zone in a hurry and were able to put the Nashville Predators on their heels just a little bit, but that shot did hit TJ Oshie right in the crest, dropped right down, and the quick hands of Pekka Rinne swallows that one up.
Now 21 to go in the power play. Blues control the faceoff. Here's Tarasenko back for Pietrangelo. Nice pass by Tarasenko. Now along for Cole. Tough angle. In front to Schwartz. Open. But it's kept in again. Now Ian Cole in the circle. Down low to Schwartz. Quick pass in front. And that hit the Predator defenseman Ellis and goes right in the blue paint. And it's covered by Rinne.
Only 2 seconds left on this power play as we take a look at our Plaza Tire Service shot comparison. Tarasenko with 2 shots on goal, 1 goal in this game, and same with that fine young rookie Philip Forsberg, acquired with the Washington Capitals, that great deal that was made in exchange for Marty Erat and Latta as well.
Forsberg, a former first-rounder by the Capitals, 11th overall back in 2012. Now Schwartz, with 2 to go in the power play. He wins it back for Pietrangelo. Long wrist shot, hit a body. Ribeiro is back, so the Blues 0 for 1. And 0 for the last 12. Now Mike Fisher with a minute to go in the period. Drop pass to Ribeiro. trying to get free. In front of shot. They score! Nystrom! And it's 2-1.
Well, Marty Berdeur's finding what Jake Allen and Brian Elliott have found as well. When the shots come, they're high quality. That is a nice play on the left side by Ribeiro. And it looks like the Blues are in good spot there. Ribeiro has it now. A pullback play by Nystrom, and he's engulfed by white sweaters, but no one gets to him. There's no stick on puck. There's no press-up game against Nystrom, and that is a wicked one-timer that goes right through the legs of Marty Brodeur.
His first goal in 4 games, 5th of the year at 19:07. And it's 2-1 Nashville.
You really can't have soft coverage in the most critical area of the ice like that.
Long shot by Forsberg, knocked away by Brodeur. And then tap back of the Blues goal. And Lapierre takes a hit. Ott gets the puck to center in the final 30 seconds. Gunned back in by Ribeiro. And now Weber back on the goal. Predators set up again. Ribeiro in the slot. Good coverage this time by the Blues and Ott. Now ahead for Shattenkirk in the final 15. His drive blockered away by Rene. And now recovered by Reeves. And then Shattenkirk takes a hit into the end boards, and he appears to be a little bit slow in getting back to his skates. And that will do it. The end of the opening period.
Looked like Yossi went right by him and patted him on the shin pads. Shattenkirk gets in the offensive zone in the final 15 seconds. And now he's looking at the referee like there's not going to be a call right there. But for Martin Brodeur in a blue sweater, boy, did it start out unbelievably. Made some great saves early on, John.
Tarasenko for the Blues, Forsberg and Nystrom for the Predators. 2-1 for the home team after 1. And we are back in Music City, USA, Nashville, Tennessee. After 1 period of play, the Predators with a 2-1 lead over the St. Louis Blues. The Blues got the early goal from Tarasenko, but then Peter Laviolette called the timeout, and then Forsberg and his teammates went to work, Darren.
You know, and it's not just calling the timeout, it's what you say during the course of a timeout. And Peter Laviolette, through the course of his coaching career, has been very opportunistic. Obviously, his message is very, very clear. The game changed around. Not often you take a timeout midway through the opening period on home ice. Forsberg, in the meantime, continues to be such a bright light for the Nashville Predators. You mentioned before the trade that David Poile ended up making for Forsberg from Washington for Marty Erat and Michael Latta, who's on the roster there. But, of course, Erat is part of the Arizona Coyotes. The kid can play. He competes. He shoots the puck. He gets involved. He goes to the scoring areas. He is not afraid in any aspect of the game. 3 goals and 3 assists against the Blues. A very, very good defensive club. That's a heck of a way to start, really, your NHL career.
And what a start for Brodeur in the opening period. He was brilliant, despite allowing 2 goals. Blues hockey is sponsored by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly.
Yeah, 16 shots on goal the Predators had after 1 period of play.
And a lot of grade A chances. Now from the face-off, here is Smith. He'll chip one in, and Oshie back to get it. Around for Pietrangelo, as the Blues play their 3rd game of a 4-game road trip. They won in Minnesota, lost last night in Chicago, and the trip concludes Saturday afternoon in New York against the Islanders. Now Craig Smith comes in, slowed down by Tarasenko. Now play to the wall, centered by Wilson, but that's broken up by the Blues, and now Pietrangelo. For Schwartz, center ice to Tarasenko. And at the line, Jori Lehtera had it in his skates, lost it. And now the Predators come in. Wilson, shouldered by Shattenkirk. And the Blues goal scorer, Tarasenko, parks it back of the goal. He reverses now for Jackman. Long stretch pass, too far for Schwartz. And he does not get there in time, so an icing call against the Blues.
Well, the November stars in the NHL are right here. Forsberg, Rookie of the Month. It's a heck of an accomplishment. He is the front runner for sure for the Calder Trophy. Pekka Rinne is the 3rd star, and of course the 2nd star from the Blues, Vladdy Tarasenko.
And a guy who could be in the running for Rookie of the Year is the Blues goaltender Jake Allen, who, despite playing a few games a few years ago, is considered a rookie and is off to a great start, as you know, with 8 wins. Now the Predators win the faceoff. Matthias Ekholm for Ellis. He'll chip one back of the goal for Ribeiro. And now Neal, a shot hit the back of the Blues goal. Now Forsberg gets it to Neal. Pass across. They score! Ribeiro, 3-1.
That's a pretty nifty puck movement. We saw that on the first goal with Tarasenko taking that pass from Steen. Well, Ribeiro and Forsberg and Neal are having a heyday back there. I mean, you talked about pinpoint passing. Does Neal's pass go off a stick maybe of Shattenkirk and right on the tape? And then through Laterra, I'm not sure. But it is right on the tape of a left-hand shot. And the top line continues to shine for the Nashville Predators. But that's not good enough defensively from the Blues. No chance for Marty Brodeur.
And Darren, you mentioned it after the Nystrom goal that made it 2-1. The opposition is getting just great chances against the Blues. It happened last night. It has happened tonight. Ribeiro has now scored in 3 straight, his 8th of the year at 125. And it's 3-1 Nashville. Now Olli Jokinen comes in. Knocked away by Lindbohm, and the Blues with the puck. And Butler gets it on for Oshie. And his backhand feed to center ice. Knocked down by Roman Josi. And then chipped in high by Cullen. On the cycle now for Gabriel Bourque. Now Weber on the far side. Weber gets it again, a drive. Flutters in front and a save by Brodeur, and the Blues clear it to center ice. That last goal, Ribeiro from Neal and Forsberg at 125.
So the Nashville Predators score that late goal at 19:07, and then they come out, Barnes a burning right here to begin the 2nd period and score 125 in. You can't give up a goal late or early in periods. They're momentum sappers.
Now Nystrom a pass in front. Off Mike Fisher's stick. Now a shot by Fisher blocked and chucked along by Steve Ott. And this is Seth Jones now for Volchenkov. He was hit hard by Ott. And then Lindbohm for Pietrangelo. Up the boards. Kept in a shot by Volchenkov. Missed the goal. Comes around now Ott with it. And his pass goes by everybody. Ryan Reeves in on the forecheck. But the Predators smartly to center ice. And now Nystrom into the zone to Jones. Top of the circle, a shot up high, and that went over the goal. And Lapierre back to center ice. In on the forecheck on Ekholm. Back to the Blues line, now Pietrangelo for Lapierre. Here's Tarasenko through a seam, a shot, and a glove save by Rinne. And scooped along by Smith back to center ice. Shattenkirk now for Patrick Berglund. And his shot from well out. And no problem there for Rinne, and we get the whistle. Well, Blues fans, the response to Cyber Monday was so great, the Blues decided to reward you all week and make it Cyber Week. Log on to stlouisblues.com, click on the Cyber Week link, and save up to 40% off tickets, 2 select games, plus other great deals. Don't wait. Cyber Week deals end tomorrow. Now Stastny on the face-off. Tarasenko shoots. He scores! Tarasenko! And it's 3-2.
Tarasenko's going to put the Blues on his shoulders. Jump on board. Let's get her back in. And he does. Wicked blast. Set formation. Offensive zone face-off. To the right of Pekka Rinne. Stastny gets himself in a kind of an upright position on the face-off. Then he gets down low, punts it back, and then in one quick motion, I mean, this is an absolute laser. No way Rinne could even read that coming off the blade of the Russian sniper.
And now with 16 goals, his 2nd tonight. tied for second in the league with Rick Nash. And the Blues are right back in the game at 3-2. Here's Backes to center ice. Moved in by Steen, now for Oshie. Down the boards, back of the goal. Steen had a stick knocked out of his hands. That was not called. And now Backes meets up with Weber. And the Predators take over.
One thing about the matchups from Peter Laviolette, he doesn't concern himself with the forwards too much.
Now Backes a shot hot.
But he puts Weber against the heaviest, biggest guys. And Weber certainly is so great offensively, but he's even better defensively. He goes up against Backes all the time.
And he's 6'4", 233 is Weber.
He's a good defender.
A three-time Norris finalist.
Yeah,
now Schwartz back on the goal.
One day he's going to win it.
I would think so. Now Pietrangelo at the line, can't hold it in. And it rolls back to Jackman. And across center. That goes wide. Rene rifles one up the left wing side. Pietrangelo pinching, and here he comes. Now Rene goes the other way for Weber. And that's tipped off Berthman's stick to center ice. Now Jackman a feed. That goes up the middle and taken by the Predators. Now Josi for Neal. The former Star and Penguin banks it in. And we get a whistle, and that's an icing call.
You go back to the face-off and you focus in on where Vladimir Tarasenko is. Top of the circles, 91 white. Face-off win. Pushed back there. The defenseman Gunnarsson actually gets his stick on the left side of the screen. Gunnarsson comes in, just punches it. 5-foot little pass right on the tape and inside the pipe and in the net for Tarasenko. Tied for Senko with Rick Nash and Stamkos. And only one ahead of him. 3 behind Tyler Seguin.
Well, they don't give an assist to Gunnarsson. They might change that. Stastny gets the only assist.
Yeah, he did.
Now Schwartz to Tarasenko. He works in. Backhander by Schwartz, blocked. To the line now for Lindholm. He'll bank it wide of the goal. And now the Predators deep in their own zone. They work onto center ice for Ribeiro. 3-on-3 at the line. And the Blues step up, and that puts the play offside.
Well, you got a Hall of Fame goaltender in your net. He's playing his first NHL game since April 13th when he beat the Bruins 3-2. He has 688 wins, more than 6 teams in the NHL. You better get some gumption and get her going. And don't let the game slip away, because the Blues have still got a lot of opportunity in the offensive zone. They're getting some time on their cycles, but you've got to be tenacious on the puck. You've got to win those battles and keep the play alive in the offensive zone.
And from the beginning, the Blues had some very successful elder goalies, shall we say. Glenn Hall in '67 was 36. A year later, Jacques Plante was 39. And I think the Blues did pretty well the first 3 years in the league with those two.
Darn right they did. The greats, whether it's a forward defenseman like Doug Harvey when he came on board, Marty Brodeur, they manage the game. They're able to control the net or control the blue line. He's unique. He's special.
Now Reeves down his off wing. Muscles by Ellis. And now for Ott. Back for Pietrangelo. And then Ian Cole to the corner. Here's Ott again to Pietrangelo, and a shot was into the shin pads of a Predator player. And now Pietrangelo muscles his man in front. Ott was there. Drifts back to Cole. That shot blocked in front by Ellis. One thing Ken Hitchcock mentioned to us today is he wants to get more ice time for people like Ott and Ryan Reeves.
That's too many men on the ice right there.
On a quick change, and now we get the penalty call. The Blues back in the game on Tarasenko's second tonight, 16th of the year. It's 3-2.
Many men on the ice for the Nashville Predators. I can see how antsy a player would get jumping off the bench and touching the puck before the guy he's replacing leaves the ice. So Fisher jumps on, and you can clearly see that the player exiting the ice, the centerman, isn't off just yet. It's an easy mistake. It happens all the time. The puck's coming there. You want to touch it. You can't touch it until the other player that you're replacing gets off the ice entirely.
And the Blues 0 for 1 tonight. And the Predators clear it down the ice. Nashville, not a very good club killing penalties, 78.1%, 23rd in the league. The Blues with the 10th best power play. But a bit sluggish of late. Shattenkirk down the board, stolen, and then fired down the ice by Nystrom.
Yeah, the power play in Chicago was a lot on the perimeter. There was 12 total shots, but when they had 3 power plays in the first period, an opportunity to get the lead and take away the momentum of the home team, they went 0 for 3 and had 1 shot, basically.
Coach Hitchcock said they were not in sync. Now Schwartz in front. A shot. Puck loose. Where is it? In the goal crease. And that is smothered by Rinne.
Quick darting little water bug play there by Schwartz, and it ended up, looked like it hit Laterra. Laterra's had a bunch of pucks hit him in the backside, in the leg, right in front of Pekka Rinne. It means that Laterra's going to the right areas of the ice, C12, and it banks off he or Ellis, and now it's loose, and it's a free-for-all. So you've got a lot of those yellow Nashville sweaters right there. The white ones come in a little bit later, but that puck's already been smothered by Pekka Rinne.
I think that was in the equipment of Ellis, and then dropped down.
It's in the paraphernalia, John.
Blues win the faceoff. Tarasenko back for Cole on the wing. Now Tarasenko. He's got 2 for Pietrangelo. He works in, and a blocker save by Rinne.
Hard place to score. A right-hand shot on the right side. Not much of an angle there.
And down to the corner. Predators break it up and shoveled along by Beck.
I think if it's a left-hand shot, it's different from the right side because he can cut in a little bit more to the middle. But I'm just speaking from a goalie's perspective, JK. It's too easy of a save while you're at the man advantage. It's got to be more difficult than that.
You'll take that all day as the Blues come in offside with 11:28 to go in the middle frame.
Well, by the time Pietrangelo wheels over there to the right as that flanker, he's looking for maybe a pass-off pad. They tried to do that last night against the Chicago Blackhawks, but if the puck isn't, 4 to 8 inches above the ice, then it makes for an easy save for the goalie. You cannot control the rebound when it comes off your far pad, but you can when it goes off the blocker.
Now the Blues from the face-off. Shattenkirk chips one into himself, runs it back of the goal. Rinne, who handles the puck quite well, up the boards. Nystrom there, can't clear it by Oshie. Shattenkirk down low. In the slot, Oshie right through his stick, and by Steen on the left point. And 15 to go in the power play. Blues down a goal here. Steen a pass. Oshie was going the other way, and chopped back down by Jokinen. And that's going to do it, as Bourque, who was serving the minor, is back.
Steen is expecting Shattenkirk to really get going on that right side as the outlet pass, and Shattenkirk wasn't moving his feet, so essentially he's passing to nobody.
Here's Shattenkirk, long pass. And now Rinne goes back to the goal to play it, so there's no icing. And the puck off a skate round by Forsberg. Here comes the 20-year-old. Drops it off. And a drive by Ekholm was blocked in front. And now Laterra back on the goal. He gets by his man. Oh, ahead to Schwartz. He would have been on to the races with Pietrangelo in a 2-on-1, but it bounced on him. Ekholm back in for the Predators. In the slot, Ribeiro for Forsberg. Fakes it. And a diving play and a loose puck to center ice. Great play by Schwartz. Now Tarasenko comes up. Almost stripped Forsberg with it. As the Blues make a change in the fly. Ekholm to Forsberg. The rookie comes in. And a shot blocked by Pietrangelo. Now back to the goal to Neal. Centers it. And a good block there by Butler. The Blues are away with Reeves. Look out. Big hit against Volchenkov.
You got to keep your head up there. Volchenkov holds that line. Always goes for the big hit in that situation.
And now Colin Wilson comes in. Up in the air. Good stick by Jackman. Shattenkirk now ahead for Ott. Here's Ott trying to roll one through a seam. And good defensive coverage. And Ribeiro. Pass the midway point in the second. To Jones, a shot blocked by Shattenkirk. And then gloved ahead by Ott. As the pace picks up again. Ott into Shattenkirk. He goes wide. Can't get by Jones. Now in front. Stastny there. And it comes down. Schwartz was looking for it. And now tipped along. And the Predators to center ice. Wilson. Almost forgot the puck there. Now gets it in back of the goal. And Brodeur ahead for Schwartz.
Yeah, you must have the puck.
That is quite important. Stastny stole the puck here. Cuts back to the goal. And now Paul leaves one to the corner for Berglund. Trying to find some open ice here. And then Schwartz away from Wilson. Again, he cycles it back to the goal. Stastny in front. Lindbom comes in, and that's poked away. And it goes out of play. Well, a few days ago, the hockey world lost one of the great players and the great gentleman, Jean Beliveau.
Well, Vladdy Tarasenko is giving the Blues every opportunity in this one. He scored the first goal, and so far the second goal of the game, our Mazda drive to the net, Vladdy Tarasenko. Only 2 goals for the Blues. This one off the face-off, so we've got multiple Mazda drives to the net. Why wouldn't you? He's got it an all-wheel drive right now. Fires the puck, making plays. Got some jump in his step, which is a real good sign considering back-to-back nights. No sluggishness to his game, JK.
He has been sharp from the opening whistle. Now Butler a drive. Scooped up, and Darren, going to break, we mentioned the hockey world has lost the great Jean Beliveau. Truly one of the greats in the history of the game.
The amazing thing about even meeting a guy like Jean Beliveau is how he remembers your name, how he speaks to you, the honor that he has, the reverence that he has. I mean, Montreal Canadiens were my favorite team, JK, growing up, but I'm not sure if they were yours as well, being an Ottawa guy.
They were.
You know, growing up in the early ages, posters, but every autograph you saw from Jean Beliveau, perfectly scripted, perfectly written, just exuded class, and everybody said the same thing, but he's just a magnificent person and a great player. First Conn Smythe Trophy winner ever as the playoff MVP.
To me, he was the Stan Musial of Montreal.
Great example.
That's how great a person and great a player he was. Now, Volchenkov to the corner. We also mourn the passing of our colleague, Brian Burwell, of the Post-Dispatch. Died suddenly after a month-long battle. And shocked to hear of Brian Burwell's passing. And our thoughts are with his family as well. 7:35 left here. This has been like a playoff game here in Nashville.
Pace is good. It's a great place to come to. A lot of Blues fans again right here. And it's a battle for first place in the Central.
Now from the faceoff, it comes ahead to Schwartz out of midair. On for Berglund. Trying to walk Josi. Berglund pulls up now as the Blues are in the midst of a line change. And laid to the corner, the captain Weber. Now for Smith. Jarnkrok overskates it, and now Josi goes for a skate back in his own zone. And then Wilson drops it back to Weber. Here's Josi again. Moved along by Wilson, and a good poke check there by TJ Oshie. And the Blues deal one to center ice. Shattenkirk into the zone, winds and fires it, and a stick save by Rene, and that goes out of play. Well, Blues 3- and 5-game holiday packs are on sale now in order by tomorrow, and get free tickets to the Blues game on Monday. Select 5-game packs get a free Tarasenko blanket. That's a great deal. Blues reps are staying late until 9 p.m. tonight to answer the phones and help you get set for the holidays. Call 314-622-BLUE right now and get your 3- or 5-game holiday pack.
We saw that family outside the hotel here, making the effort to come down and watch the Blues, and at the same time see the future Hall of Famer Marty Brodeur play the first game ever in a Blues sweater.
Blues have outshot the Predators 2019, but trail 3-2. Ekholm off the boards. Now Laterra to center. Picked off by Forsberg. This has been the matchup all night. The Forsberg line against the STL unit. Blues playing around. Kept in by Ekholm. Now Ribeiro on the cycle for Forsberg. Chased by Jackman. James Neal. And then Ribeiro again in front to Neal. He was loose, but the pass just off the mark. And now kicked by Lindbom. He's lost his stick.
Yeah, and Forsberg just knocked down Tarasenko in an odd way. Look at Tarasenko's got 2 hands on his stick.
He got Lindbom's stick for him. And play continues. Ekholm a drive. Blocked by Schwartz. Right off his shin pad.
Good play by Schwartz. Got to find that shooting lane. Use your angles. Good play.
Now it's tipped to center ice. Hammered in by Ribeiro. And Lindbohm, the 21-year-old drafted by the Blues in the 6th round in 2012. Steen gets it down the wall. Weber worked over by Oshie. Deep slot. Pietrangelo, a shot. Comes in front. And it's under the pad of Rinne. Maybe off of Oshie. And we get a stoppage. 5:25 left in the middle frame. Blues down by 1.
First back inside our Fox Sports Midwest Live studio inside Ballpark Village. Blues trail the Preds 3-2. Now 5:25 to go in that second period. Coming up next, the Jack in the Box intermission report. Well, first and second period highlights. Plus, Bernie's going to break down that second period, and we'll take a look around the rest of the National Hockey League. But for now, let's get back to the rest of that second period in Nashville, guys.
All right, Pat, the Blues playing their 5th set of back-to-back games. So far, they are 3-1 on the second night. As Backes gets set on the face-off against Cullen. Oh, and a good save there by Rinne right off the face-off.
Very similar to the goal that Tarasenko scored on the other side of the ice. This time it's number 20, Steen, comes in off the hash marks on the right side and quickly snaps it through a bunch of bodies right there, and a good save by Pekka Rinne.
Blues win another face-off. Here's Cole. That shot tipped on the way, and it's a pad save by Rinne.
Hear the thud?
That was off Oshie. And Rinne never moved. That was more of a positional save by Rinne.
Well, the Blues starting to generate offense from face-off wins in the offensive zone. Something last year, we talked about that time and time again. They scored around 20 goals 10 seconds after winning a face-off, primarily with the man advantage, but this mindset is a good mindset. All the good teams do it. Don't start playing it on the perimeter and let the other team set up shop. This goes off the right heel of Oshie, the left pad of Rinne, and then over to the left side.
The Blues are the 3rd best face-off team. The Predators are the 7th worst. Here's a shot from the line, right on goal, and a save by Brodeur on Josi. And now it's played by Backes for Pietrangelo. Rink wide feed for Cole. He'll drop one deep into the Predator zone with 4:45 to go in the period. Now Josi back to center ice. The Swiss-born defenseman gets it in. Blues had it near the line. And now Nystrom with it after he stole it from Berglund. That shot blocked. Fisher to line. And then flipped around by Jones. Nystrom on the cycle. He scored their 2nd goal. And now Beck with it. Everything in the corner, now to the line. Volchenkov across to Jones. And the 20-year-old chops it back of the goal. Beck trying to get away from Shattenkirk. And now on the half boards to Fisher, a drive. That was blocked by Shattenkirk. Hit him right in the knee. And Tarasenko off the boards, and the Blues to center ice. Tarasenko seen double duty here. On with Stastny and Berglund. Stolen back of the goal. Puck comes in front, and a quick whistle. That puck was never covered, but the referee lost sight of it.
Yeah, Wes McCauley, and it's his right. He thinks the goalie's got it. He blows the whistle. Bad break there for the Blues because clearly it was loose. Pekka Rinne gets stripped here. Stick on the hands by Stastny to strip Pekka Rinne of the puck, and then it just goes off. Look at the right heel. He squirts it out. Rinne doesn't know if he's going to go forehand backhand. Doesn't expect Stastny right there. Stastny does a good job of stripping him of the puck.
See what he did there? He just whacked his stick a little bit to knock the puck off the stick.
Just a little nudge. That's a veteran move.
Now from the face-off, here's Reeves in there with Lapierre. Lapierre twisting and turning on Weber. And now for Reeves. He can't center. And Colin Wilson for Nashville to Weber up the middle. And that's off the stick of Järnkrok. And then Jackman rifles it around. Ott with it. Now ahead. Diving play by Reeves. Can't get there in time. And handled by Wilson. That's punched in by Järnkrok. Blues down a goal here late in the second. Both Blues goals from Tarasenko. Forsberg, Nystrom, and Ribeiro have scored for the Predators. Tarasenko after it against Ellis. Now ahead to the rookie Forsberg, trying to get away from Pietrangelo. And then Ellis goes back on the goal. He emerges with it, tipped along by Neal. deep in the blue zone. Brodeur to the corner. Chopped along by Butler, played by Tarasenko. And on to center ice for Pietrangelo. Laterra on the forecheck. Get some help there from Schwartz. And a good job by Ellis. Now he loses it to Oshie. Muscles back of the goal. Here's Oshie back to the line for Pietrangelo. In the slot, Steen spins around. And good defensive work there by the Predators. And then lifted out by Forsberg. And a stoppage. Well, don't miss a full day of St. Louis sports Saturday on Fox Sports Midwest. The Blues take on the Islanders an early game. Toyota Blues Live pregame starts at 11:30 a.m., followed by the game at noon. And then at 5 o'clock, it's SLU at 8th-ranked Wichita State. Blues hockey and Billikens basketball Saturday on Fox Sports Midwest. As the Blues will most likely face their former goalie, Jaro Halak, who is red hot in the Islander goal.
Does Marty Brodeur go on that one?
They play in his old backyard against the Islanders. We'll see.
I know it's a question being asked, and I'm not trying to avoid it. I'd say with Brian Elliott, it looks really, really good. Watched him again skate today with that MCL, with that knee. He looks good, looks strong.
Look out here, a pass in front. And a Jokinen shot did not get through the maze of players in front. Now Steen with it. Can't move it out. Shattenkirk trying to get a stick on it. Kept in by Josi and now lifted along by Backes. And here comes Oshie with 90 seconds left in the period. Oshie takes a hit, now takes the puck. Ships it by Josi. O'Reilly gave it away in front. A shot by Stastny, and that was blocked, I think, by Shea Weber. As Rene nearly got caught back of the goal. Roman Josi to center ice. Now Cole off the boards and out. That's a couple of times in the last 3 minutes that Rene's almost been caught back of the goal.
Yeah, and Stastny's been the guy that's been all over him.
And now Schwartz in the final minute here. He's run down by Fisher. Puck played around. Now Cole with it. That's one to the corner to Stastny. Back of the goal for Schwartz. Stops on Josi. Schwartz in front. And he can't get a clean shot. Good job by Josi. Now picked up by Fisher. And a penalty called here. I believe it's against the Blues. And a holding minor.
With great momentum in the offensive zone as well. 31.9 seconds remaining. Holding call on Patrick Berglund as Ken Hitchcock scribbles down some notes on his ever-present blue line sheet that he's got. There's the penalty here. Josi goes one way. You're not allowed to grab the sweater. Doesn't seem like much, but it's a hold.
Predators win the face-off. Now back to Jones. Their power play not very good at all. 12% at home, even worse. They're 1 for 41 this year at home. That pass wide of the goal. Now Fisher to Forsberg. 15 to go in the period. Forsberg back for Jones. Return feed to Forsberg. Watch by Ott. In the slot. Good stick there by Ott. And that's shot down the ice by Jackman. And this power play will carry over into the third period.
Making your words sing, John Kelly, with Ott in the slot right there, covering the front of the net. Good defensive work by Steve Ott, but Tarasenko, the story. As we take a look at our Plaza Tire Service shot comparison. 4-3 in favor of Tarasenko. 5 total to 6 now to Forsberg, and obviously Tarasenko with 2 and Forsberg with 1 goal.
The Blues outshot the Predators 11-4 in that period. We have played 40 minutes. Nashville up 3-2. And back in Nashville. Bridgestone Arena downtown, just off Broadway Street. Darren Pang.
I recognize that street.
Sauntered down that street a time or two in his life.
I believe Tootsie's is there. The Stage, Legends. I mean, just to name 3. In case you want to go for some entertainment, some music, some tunes.
We might do that after a Blues victory here, and hopefully they get one behind Marty Brodeur tonight.
Well, it's an interesting story about Marty Brodeur. From 1997 till 2011, he wore the same shoulder chest protector combination. He was finally getting so many off his shoulders that he told his trainer in New Jersey, I want every single goalie in the NHL, all their manufacturers' shoulder pads. For the next couple of days, they came flooding in. This is what he selected, was this model here, and guess whose they were? And it had his name right on it, on the one side of it. Pekka Rinne's model, Pekka Rinne's that he had, tried out and then didn't like, and the manufacturer took him back. And so Marty Brodeur is sitting there wearing Pekka Rinne's old shoulder chest protector. And Brodeur's had to modify his game. His pads when he first broke in were 32 inches. Now they're 35 and a half. Shoulder pads bigger. Got to look bigger with all these goalies the size of them like Pekka Rinne at 6'5".
Another tight game for the Predators on home ice. They are 9-1 when leading after 2. The Blues 2-4 when trailing. And of course the Blues remain short-handed for 1:25 to begin this third period.
With the old fresh ice. I think that would be a big advantage starting a power play with the fresh ice. The puck lays obviously nice and flat.
Now the Predators up the middle. Here comes Ribeiro. Always dangerous. Sets up on the half boards. To Weber. They play catch. Ribeiro again. Josi. And then Ribeiro lost the handle. He gets it back. Wilson screens in front. Pass back. Weber to Josi. Weber fires it. And that was blocked, I think, by Pietrangelo.
Oh, that's got to hurt.
Did that sting? And now back of the goal, Jackman. Can't clear it by Wilson.
Strong play by Wilson to strip that of Jackman.
And now Ribeiro looks out high. Finds Weber to Josi. Josi again. On for Ribeiro. 25 to go in the power play.
Well, one thing, Ribeiro, he will not shoot the puck.
Now Weber, he loves to shoot it. Josi fires it. That's blocked by Schwartz. It broke his stick and cleared up the middle by Pietrangelo down the ice.
So that's a big key when it goes to Ribeiro on that half boards. He is so reluctant to shoot it that you're always looking off and you know the shot's going to come elsewhere. Boy, Pietrangelo with a big block. Last time they played, Pietrangelo had 9 blocked shots against the Predators.
And now the Blues back at full strength. Nashville 0 for 1 tonight. Now Gunnarsson, who did get the assist, by the way, on that second Tarasenko goal, as we suspected. Ellis rolls off a check from Berglund. And now Shattenkirk ahead. Here's on. Lapierre stolen by Forsberg. He moves down the ice.
Oh, that's not a good one.
Forsberg in the slot. Shovels back. Ekholm trying to walk the line. And then down the boards. Now back for Mike Fisher. Fisher in front. A pass and a great stick there by Shattenkirk as Neal tried to send it across for Ekholm. And the Blues finally get it back to center ice. And Berglund takes the hit and gets it deep.
Has to get the line. That's #1 priority. And knowing you're going to get hit, you can't shy away. Take the hit, make the play, and get off the ice.
Now at center ice, Schwartz, good stick there. And Tarasenko goes for a skate. He has scored both Blues goals. Tipped by Laterra, broken up. And Gabriel Bourque back in. And mauled from behind by Tarasenko. Forces the turnover. Schwartz trying to dart down his off wing. Goes wide on Josi. And then a shot right through the goal crease area. That was intended for Laterra back to center ice. And then poked along by Butler. And then Laterra plays it back in his own zone for Chris Butler. Center ice for Steen. And he can't get any open ice. Steen has led the Blues, along with Tarasenko, with 4 shots apiece through 2. Now Butler for Backes. Look out, up the middle. He was upended. And then Oshie trying to carry on. Trying to burrow under a Nashville player. Gets one in behind the goal where it's grabbed by Seth Jones.
Backes got caught trying to stick handle in traffic and got thumped. And he went real slowly to the bench.
Here is Jarnkrok. Deep in the blue zone. Pushed from behind by Butler. And now the puck taken from the pack by Paul Stastny on for Butler. Tarasenko again seen double duty here. Off the boards. In the slot for Butler. Backhander and a save by Rene.
Oh, 2-on-1.
Great chance. 3-on-1. Led by Beck. Right in. And a glove save by Brodeur on Beck.
He gave him glove and just snapped it away. Thanks for coming. That's a veteran move there by Brodeur. He'll leave that glove a little low, and that is one heck of a timely save. The Blues have a good chance in front. There's Butler in front of the net with a backhander. That's saved by Rene, and a 3-on-1 the other way. And that is vintage Martin Brodeur right there on Taylor Beck. Just snaps it out of midair.
And the faceoff won, but the puck was dropped unfairly. As Ott won the draw.
That's a good play there by Butler. He slides right in there. He's in the slot. He gets a good shot on goal. Unfortunately for the Blues, no one's backing him up as the third man high.
The F3 needs to be aware of that situation, Darren.
The old F3 needs to be a lot higher than that.
Now Lapierre at the line, but Neal back for Nashville. James Neal in for Ribeiro. In against Jackman. And then Jackman wins that battle around for Reeves. Outmuscles a Predator player, and Reeves lugs the puck to center ice.
That's just a strong play by Reeves right there.
Now tipped in by Ott. And Reedy out of the goal. He's had a couple of adventures tonight. And now Neal throws it back to Forsberg. Here he comes. Forsberg almost lost it. Chops it back of the goal. Brodeur. And now he's bumped into as the puck rolled between his legs. Picked up by Shattenkirk. Look out in front. Turned over. Neal a drive. And a save by Brodeur after a grievous giveaway by the Blues. And now Reeves out of his own zone.
You know, last year the Blues utilized the hub in the middle of the slot as an outlet. They have not done that this year. That's not an outlet play. And these passes right in the slot, like they're serving up hot pizzas right there. Not good at it. Not good there.
Yeah, the outlet was a Predator player there. Now Steen, here the Blues numbers to center ice, led by Backes. For Cole, walks in a shot. And a howitzer missed everything. And it goes off the boards and out of play.
A couple of times now, a plethora of bad giveaways right in the middle of the ice. We're talking about the highest of high quality scoring chances. And the aftermath of that is a shot that has gone wide, and then the puck does end up back with Reeves, and he slides it over there to the middle, and nobody there except the Predators.
And Darren, as you know, if you're going to make that pass, you have got to be 100%.
Yeah, and you can really see the ice and the quality of minutes that Big Jay Bouwmeester plays. I mean, you really, really miss the way that he handles the minutes, handles the top players, as he is out again, and who's on the ice today? Oh,
that's delay of game.
That is going to be a delay of game by Matthias Ekholm, number 14. A high hoister over the glass, and a chance for the Blues to tie this game up on the power play. As I mentioned with Bouwmeester, with those groin injuries, and he obviously hasn't sustained one in his NHL career that has kept him out of the lineup. The only time he's been out of the lineup, as this one flutters out play clearly, is when he broke a foot a long time ago. But, yeah, anyway, Bouwmeester not coming along as he would have expected.
Blues 0 for 2 tonight. Tarasenko for Schwartz. Back to the top to Tarasenko. Now Schwartz spins it back again. Quickly across in the slot. Shattenkirk a drive and an arm save by Rene. Off the board, Schwartz. Deep slot, Steen rolls it in. Shattenkirk, nice move in front. Backdoor feed to Tarasenko, and a stick there broke it up, or he would have had an easy hat-trick goal.
Mike Fisher made a great play there. He's a good, solid defensive centerman, and he robbed him.
Now Jaden Schwartz was one along for Tarasenko. Steen now to Shattenkirk. Very patiently now for Schwartz. Now Steen around the perimeter into Tarasenko. He works in, pass to Laterra, off his stick. And kept moving by the Blues. Now Steen a drive, that goes wide, in front and chopped down the ice by Weber.
Some slick puck movement though. Very confident group of 5 on that first unit on the power play.
Now Pietrangelo with 45 to go in the power play. Volchenkov trying to move it. He's bottled up by Stastny. Trying to move it away from the pack. He does for Pietrangelo. To the corner again. Nice stick there by Seth Jones.
They've got to pass that puck harder, though. A lot more firm than that.
Now Stastny, backhand feed back. Here's a pass to Steen. Winds up, fires it on goal, and a save by Rinne.
Well, good to see David Backes on the ice again after having that collision at center ice and limping off the ice. So he's back. Rinne makes the save, no rebound. That's a key. Still an opportunity with 24 seconds left. And here's a tic-tac-toe pass in here by this first unit. That's Shattenkirk with it on the backhand. Tries to go across. That's the stick of Mike Fisher. Otherwise, 91's got the hat trick.
And now Fisher wins the faceoff. Around for Josi. Lost it. Picked up by Pietrangelo. And then Backes back of the goal. Here's Ian Cole. Pinching in but can't get it. Great play by Fisher. And now for Nystrom. And he's steered wide, and the Blues get it back. Oshie back of the goal. Ekholm set to return. And the Blues to center ice. And now 0 for 3 in the power play. Pass by Weber picked off. Here comes Alex Pietrangelo. Right up the middle. Too far for Lapierre. And Forsberg to center ice. Slowed down by fellow Swede, Patrick Berglund. Lapierre comes in there again. Wrist shot. That was blocked. Weber hammers it down the ice. This should be an icing call. It is against Nashville. Well, coming up tonight on Fox Sports Live, we have full highlights and analysis from Thursday Night Football as the Cowboys take on the Bears. Jay Glazer tells you how Browns coach Mike Pettine got talked out of starting Johnny Manziel. And LeBron heads to Madison Square Garden to duel Carmelo Anthony and the Knicks. Put out on Fox Sports Live.
And what comes out of the mouth of Dan and Jay? That's always something interesting to watch.
You just never know.
You never know.
And it could be funny.
You listen to their podcast ever? It is something else.
They are crazy Canucks, shall we say.
Canucks. They love the game of hockey.
And a pass by Shattenkirk. That's too high. And it goes the distance for icing with 11:39 left in the third.
Well, we talked to Kevin Shattenkirk prior to the game, and as he wore number 8 as a junior Devil, pretty cool that going to that South Mountain Arena, that old practice rink that the Devils had before they built that beautiful place adjacent to Prudential, that he'd be able to practice and watch his heroes, watch Marty Brodeur.
Who, by the way, has a son who's a goalie drafted by the Devils off the faceoff. And that shot wide. He has 3 boys that all play hockey, 2 goalies and 1 forward.
Yeah. He's got Williams over at Shattuck St. Mary's.
They all went to Shattuck.
They all went to Shattuck. Another goalie in Oshawa with the Generals. I remember, boy, when Marty was winning cups early on, doing interviews and seeing those kids in the locker room playing hockey, all-star games, and now they're growing up to be men and trying to make careers of their own in the NHL.
And Marty had the honor of announcing the draft choice.
Yes, that was great.
When Anthony was picked by the Devils in 2013. Pat, another win for the Isles, who have won 7 in a row on home ice. That's where the Blues will be Saturday. Face-off controlled by the Blues. Here is Butler across the red line. He'll drive it in. Yarncroke gets it from Oshie. And off the boards and out. And now snared by Smith. He comes in, a shot. His Pietrangelo goes wide. And comes along for Steen. Backes knocks it down. And now Pietrangelo thinking offense. He'll tip one to the corner. Weber back defensively. There, Croak around the boards. Butler pinched in, but it's picked up by the Preds. And Josi, here's a breakaway for Jokinen. In on goal. Wilson scores. Colin Wilson. And it's 4-2.
Well, you saw the eyes of Ken Hitchcock looking over to his left, which is where the D is. Pinched down low by Butler. Nobody supporting up high. Wilson in all alone. Looks like he's going to raise the puck. I think he fanned on it a little bit. The goaltender, Martin Brodeur, is anticipating that gets up a little bit, so his glove's there with his pad. But judging by the follow-through, I think Wilson wanted to really elevate that, and he didn't.
Now Cole into Lapierre. Lapierre in front, and a backhander, and a save by Rinne, and Cole took a heavy hit after that pass.
That'd be really good response by the Blues after giving up a goal. You score right there, you're right back in it the same way you were prior to Wilson's goal, just down by 1. It's a good move there by Lapierre to cut back on his back end. Lapierre doesn't have much of a curve on his stick. The Nashville Predators, they play a step-up game. And this one here by Volchenkov trying to hit while going forward, and the stick comes up and clips Ian Cole. There's no call on the play. And following that, Lapierre follows it up with a nice cutback move at the face-off dot, and then peeled in. Put it right in the belly of the goaltender, Rinne.
So the goal by Wilson is 5th at 9:30. And it's 4-2 Nashville. As Nystrom gets the puck at center ice, drives it in, Brodeur to play it. Now Lindbohm ahead. Tipped by Tarasenko wide of the goal. And an icing call against the Blues.
Now the Blues are going to have to manufacture a lot of gumption right now to get back in this hockey game. There's lots of time left, and there can never be any quit. You're going up against the Central Division. You're scouring for points. You're trying to leave a mark. You can't fade away in a hockey game. Last night's game in Chicago, they gave a lot of time and space to some pretty good players, and that game slid away from them.
So it's 4-2. The Blues win the faceoff. Shattenkirk played along for Schwartz. In with Tarasenko and Laterra. Ekholm back of the goal now for Ellis. And then Bourque will play it back behind the cage again. Ekholm up the boards. Good hold in there by Shattenkirk.
Very good patience on the line by Shattenkirk. You're right.
Now Laterra for Schwartz. Knocks a man down. Gets the puck in front. A shot. And what a save on Tarasenko by Pekka Rinne. Very nearly the hat trick. Now Brodeur to center ice for Tarasenko. And across Shattenkirk now for Lindbohm. And he can't get deep in the zone. Puck lobbed ahead. Comes down to Nystrom, and good defensive work there by Oshie. And Oshie to center ice. Not very far, though. Back will turn it right back in the zone. Now Brodeur for Butler. And the Blues, a long feed to David Backes. He'll chip and chase it by Josi. Now Backes for Steen. Backes in a battle there. Puck ahead down to Fisher, and Fisher across the red line will backhand one to the inboards. Brodeur pokes it away from the forecheck of back. Now played on to Butler. Up the middle now for Berglund. Trying to get through a seam. And then Berglund was slowed up in the corner by Jones. Stastny there to help out. Stastny in front to Ott. Circles the goal. Trying to find somebody open instead of the corner. Stastny to Butler. And then back down the wall. Stastny now for Ott. Good reverse hit on Jones. And finally grabbed by the Predators. Butler trying to hold it in. And it does come across. And out of the zone. Stastny back to Berglund again. And that pass too hot to handle. Jarnkrok to center. Now for Craig Smith, and then played in deep. 7:35 left. The Blues down by 2. Now Shattenkirk for Schwartz. 3-on-2. Schwartz works in. Shoots. He scores! Jaden Schwartz! And we have a one-goal game again.
He looked off Tarasenko to his left. Tarasenko in the slot, and a great decision by Jaden Schwartz as he just rifles it. He's got a heck of a wrist shot in his own right. Good for him to fire the puck. A good outlet pass and a terrific shift by Kevin Shattenkirk on the right boards to make that pass. Head up all the way by Schwartz. The Wilcox, Saskatchewan native, looks one way and just rifles it. About, what, 12, 13 inches above the ice, over the pad, blocker side. Same area that Tarasenko has scored on a couple of times against. the goaltender Pekka Rinne. Perfect shot.
His first in 5 games, 9th of the year at 12:32. And the Blues down by 1. This is lobbed in by Pietrangelo. Now Steen to Backes. That shot just missed. And Pietrangelo had it roll over his stick. And the Blues tag up. And the play continues. Now Weber a pass. Almost intercepted there by Oshie. Good stick there. And now Mike Fisher will send a roller to the corner. And Taylor Beck after it for Nashville. Predator player goes down. That was Nystrom.
It's going to be a penalty.
Yeah, the referee back at center. Wes McCauley made the call. I think it's on Lindbohm. And now we have Ott involved with a Predator player or 2.
The Blues are already going to get called for the first minor. Last thing you want is to get another one to negate even strength time off the clock. Only 6:46 remaining. Schwartz, it's with us. 4-3 now. The last 6 games now, the penalty kill has been very good, killing off 12 of the last 13. And Terry Lindbohm, just recalled from Chicago, the American Hockey League, on the right side of your screen. He just releases his hand, pulls down Nystrom. The referee's right in the neutral zone. That's Wes McCauley. He sees it the whole way. That's his responsibility. Watch it from the backside. And so, tough coverage play right there for Lindbohm, and he gets called on it.
And the Predators 0 for 1 tonight. Big hill here for the Blues as the Blues win the faceoff, and Berglund sends a bouncer all the way down the ice. 6:35 left in regulation. The Blues down by 1. Now Josi ahead. Tipped along by Wilson. Now back of the goal. Grabbed by Jackman away from some trouble. And with lots of time, he shoots a roller all the way down the ice.
Yeah, you often hear Brad Shaw, who runs the penalty kill for the Blues, stress 200 feet. Just make sure that you get a lot of wood on it and get that puck down the ice. Force the Nashville Predators to go 200 feet to get another chance.
Now Shattenkirk wins a duel in the corner and sails it high into Nashville ice. And already 50 gone in the Lindbohm minor. Again, the Predators on home ice, 1 for 42 on the power play. As they get to center ice. Here's Neal trying to spin around on Gunnarsson. Pass back, picked off by Steen, and he drills it all the way down the ice. On that Schwartz goal, Shattenkirk gets the assist. The goal at 12:32. Now Neal back for Ellis. Good stick in the corner by Jackman. Pietrangelo ahead to Lapierre. Can't get it out. And now Seth Jones with it. Drop pass. Forsberg, a shot up high to save by Brodeur. And he has it.
Good save with no rebound. And originally they gave Marty Brodeur an assist on that goal, but he did not touch the puck. He already has 47 career regular season points. There's the save by Brodeur. Takes it right off the chest protector. And Marty Brodeur does not tuck in his chest protector. He leaves it over top of the pants. For the goalies out there, you understand what I'm talking about. The majority of goaltenders tuck that belly pad underneath and tie it down. That's why sometimes he looks like he's got a bigger midsection in that net.
He's in prime shape at 42 and a half.
Remarkable the old eyes work, isn't it?
No question about that. Now the Predators with 10 to go in the power play come in. Smith to the corner. Plays one back now for Weber. Across to Josi. And that was blocked by Pietrangelo. That stung maybe on the right hand. And the Blues get Lindbohm back. They've killed it off. Pietrangelo is doubled over as he goes to the Blues bench.
Boy, Laterra tries to barrel through Weber. Weber stands him up. And man, like he hit a redwood tree.
And it rolls down the ice. Brodeur sets it up for Shattenkirk. Quickly on to Gunnarsson. Pass tipped along. Here's Backes. And he can't get it by Echo. And now Matt Cullen the other way. And the veteran drives it in. Backes back first. Now Bork in there for the Predators. Plays one in an open corner with 4 minutes left here in the third period. And the Blues down by a goal. Backes runs right over Bourque behind the goal.
And this has been as physical a shift as Backes has had in this hockey game.
Now Steen gets it out. He was slashed by Jokinen. Sweet against Finn there. And now Gunnarsson at the line. He was checked. Rolled in by Nystrom. And then Brodeur wanders. And now Berglund to center for Tarasenko. Lost it and lobbed back in. Butler quickly across. Now to Gunnarsson. And the Blues to center ice. Berglund leaves it. Walked in by Stastny in front. A shot. He just missed. What a great play by Stastny.
Good play by Stastny and a nice feed by Berglund on the right side.
And the Predators, Tarasenko wipes out a player. He gets the puck back. And here he comes. Pass in front. And that was intercepted at the last second. What a back check by Tarasenko. And that's lobbed high and deep by Nystrom. Lindholm, the first man back. And he gains the red line. Steered high, gloved down by Rinne with 2:50 to go in the third period. And the Blues trailing by a goal.
In front of Martin Brodeur, a lot of urgency here. You're playing the clock, you're down by 1. Good second effort, certainly by the Blues. This one here that I was talking about, good step up by Weber. Nowhere for Lehtera to go. And you talk about hounding the puck and stripping the puck. There's Tarasenko does that. Paul Stastny just missed on a chance after Berglund fed him the puck in the high slot.
Now Backes wins the faceoff, back for Shattenkirk. And then down low for Steen. Steen in front. No room there. Pops up in the air. And now Pietrangelo, good to see him back after blocking a shot.
What a keep in by Steen.
And now it's TJ Oshie. Here comes Oshie, a shot, and that was blocked, I think, by Josi, and it goes out of play.
That's just alert hockey sense by Alexander Steen, knowing that Pietrangelo has to pinch. Pietrangelo has to take time and space away on the near side. Steen slides in there at the point. He doesn't vacate it, keeps it in, and it ends up being a chance here by TJ Oshie. Stutter steps one way, and as he goes to shoot it, though, a really good defensive play by Roman Josi. Here's Berglund, feeds it over to Stastny. Stastny uses the defenseman as a screen and just misses to the glove side.
And now Ribeiro wins a faceoff from Lehtera. Puck up in the air, kept in with the glove by Tarasenko. And now to the line, Gunnarsson can't hold it in. And then thrown down the ice by Jarnkrok. And Brodeur around the boards now for Pietrangelo. Schwartz, who scored the last goal for Lehtera. And now Schwartz trying to find some open ice here. Down the wall, trying to step inside the Predator defenseman. And a good job by Ellis.
That's
Gunnarsson back defensively.
Really good step-up play again by Ryan Ellis. Smaller defenseman, but shows good hockey sense there against the tricky Schwartz.
Now 1:45 left. Blues trailing by 1. Forsberg darts in. And just stashes one back to the goal. And the Blues get it. Don't forget, Missouri Lottery Blues Live comes your way next. Stay with us. Pietrangelo ahead. A diving knock tips it in. Or did he? No, he didn't touch it, so that's an icing call. Well, voting for the 2015 NHL All-Star Game is going on now, and you can send Tarasenko, Steen, Backes, Oshie, Pietrangelo, Elliott, or your favorite Blue to the game. Vote up to 10 times a day. Go to stlouisblues.com and start voting now.
No timeout here shown by the Blues. Obviously, Laviolette called that timeout midway through in the first period. Really changed the pace of play for Nashville. The Blues have one timeout left.
Stastny wins the face-off. Tapped along to Ott. Here the Blues quickly to center ice. Berglund and Pietrangelo. Berglund races in a drive and a save. As Brodeur headed off, but now he goes back in goal. As the Blues had a 2-on-1. And the puck flipped up the boards. And now we get a whistle.
Faceoff should be on the inside. Oh, they're going to say the faceoff's outside. Pietrangelo originally went into the net after that play. Pietrangelo was on the right side when Berglund has the puck here on the left. So Berglund lets it rip, maybe looking for a big rebound, but Pietrangelo gets shoved in there by the Nashville Predator forward. I think that was Taylor Beck right there. Nets off its moorings. I think that faceoff should be inside.
And now a timeout by Ken Hitchcock. I agree.
I mean, it's different if you just go in there on your own, but when you are shoved in there and your momentum takes you into the net, it's not your fault. There's a hard shot there by Berglund. Rebound goes to the other side, but you can... Oh, it's Smith, excuse me. Thought it was Taylor Beck, the right-hand shot, but, I mean, not many places that Pietrangelo can go to right there. Let's update you on our Plaza Tire Service shot comparison. Two great young players, Tarasenko and Forsberg. Forsberg with 8 total, 6 for Tarasenko. But it's Tarasenko right now that needs to be the one if the Blues are going to tie this game up. See who hops over.
The Blues will leave Brodeur in for now with 1:07 left.
Shattenkirk talking to Tarasenko. Tarasenko is late coming off, obviously looking for a little direction, and Shattenkirk obviously explains something to him.
It is Backes, Schwartz, and Tarasenko up front. Blues win the faceoff. Schwartz, Brodeur down to center ice, and he throws it all the way down the ice. And that's going to be an icing call as Brodeur tried to hit the goal there.
Well, we know that he's a gifted playmaker. He's got a couple of regular season goals, got 47 points. And he just missed, and he's frustrated as he misses that one right there. All right, back there we go.
56 left. Backes against Fisher. And the captain controls it. Now for Steen. And across Shattenkirk. There goes Brodeur off for the extra man. And the Blues funnel it behind the goal. Weber up the boards. Tarasenko tips it. Kept along. Steen off the boards. Now it comes in front again. Tarasenko with it. Quick shot on goal by Oshie and a save. Now center. Nystrom trying to clear it. He's mauled by a couple of Blues. Oshie gets it free to Schwartz. Fisher off the boards. Rolls down wide. That should be an icing call with 18 seconds to go. And the Blues had a golden opportunity to tie the game.
Referees will make sure that the players that were on the ice for Nashville stay there. This is some utter urgency and desperation. Good scoring chance there on the one-touch play there by Oshie on the top part of your screen. And Pekka Rinne has been excellent in goal again against Ken Hitchcock and the St. Louis Blues.
18.2 left. It'll be Backes against Fisher. Fisher is an excellent face-off man, over 63% in his brief time back. And they're going to check the clock to see if they should add some more time here.
Well, once they check the clock and likely add a second or two to it, the key here is David Backes, the captain, talking right now to TJ Oshie. Backes, the right-hand shot, will pull this to his backhand. That leaves Steen on the right, and the right-hander, Shattenkirk.
Oh, they won it, but it got between the point men. Shattenkirk fires it back in. Crazy hop. Now played by Weber. Not out of the zone, though. 5 to go. Weber goes the other way. Pietrangelo, long shot. Kicked away, and that's going to do it. And the Predators hang on and win 4-3.
Back-to-back losses against the Central Division in 2 tough buildings. Some good desperation and urgency shown here at the end, but obviously falling behind 4-2 midway through the third, too much. But our Bud Light player of the game is Vladdy Tarasenko. 2 goals and 5 shots, battled hard on the puck, was a difference maker certainly, and especially in the offensive zone.
As the Predators take over first place, their 17th win of the year. They beat the Blues 4-3.